The Lord be with you,
and also with you.
The reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. James and John, the sons of Zebedee, came forward to him and said to him, "Teacher, we want you to do for us whatever we ask of you." And he said to them, "What is it you want me to do for you?" And they said to him, "Grant us to sit, one at your right hand, one at your left, in your glory." But Jesus said to them, "You do not know what you are asking. Are you able to drink the cup that I drank, or be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with?" They replied, "We are able." Then Jesus said to them, "The cup that I drink you will drink, and with the baptism with which I am baptized you will be baptized. But to sit at my right hand or at my left is not mine to grant, but it is for those for whom it has been prepared." When the 10 heard this, they began to be angry with James and John. But Jesus called them and said to them, "You know that among the Gentiles, those whom they recognize as their rulers, lord it over them, and the great ones are tyrants over them. But it is not so among you. But whoever wishes to become great among you must be your servant, and whoever wishes to be first among you must be slave of all. For the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve, and to give his life a ransom for many." The true gospel of the Lord. Praise to the Lord, the word, the light. Okay, be seated, please. Especially good afternoon to you.
And also to you.
Thank you. Today we continue on Jesus' journey. We have followed this journey from Capernaum, where the disciples were arguing who was the greatest, through Judea and the encounter with the rich man, and now we're on our way to Jerusalem. It's at this point that James and John come up with what they consider to be a pretty good idea. They've been brainstorming because there's a lot of time to think when you're walking miles from here to there. James says, "Hey John, there will be 12 seats in heaven for the 12 of us, so let's ask for the best seats in the house." Of course, John agrees, thinking if we don't ask, I'm sure Peter will, or one of the others. So they call shotgun. You've done that as a kid, haven't you? Or your kids have done that. I remember Saturday was a big day when I was a kid. That was the day we all got to go shopping into town. Naturally, all wanted to sit in the front seat. Of course, that was back in the days of no seat belts, metal dashboards, and no airbags. Remember those, Don?
Mm-hmm.
But we would call shotgun. We would argue amongst ourselves about who called it first. "I called it." "No, I did. I called it yesterday." "Well, I called it when we got home last week." We would all fight for the seat of honor. The attitude of being first, or having honor, or the prestige of a title still haunts us today. Who is the greatest? We want the seats of honor on the right and on the left. We don't like taking the back seat to anyone. You and your luggage are in a line that winds toward the ticket agent at the airport. And then a VIP, or a rich person who's paid more money or something, or someone who knows someone else, gets to go to the front of the line, bypassing all the other schmucks who've been waiting their turn. Maybe there's no line, but you still can't pass because of the rules. Some places of business have this little machine that has little tabs with numbers on them that you pull, and when they call your number, you get waited on. I've seen times where someone had number 43. The sign on the wall says serving number 38. But you're the only customer in the store. But you can't get service until they run through the numbers. 39, 40, 41, and 42. It's frustrating. You're the only customer in the store. Why can't they just wait on you without going through all the numbers? Well, it may take a few seconds, but you will get waited on. James and John don't want to wait either. They go right up to Jesus and say, "Teacher, we want you to do for us whatever we ask." And did you hear those two key words? We want. We want. We want you to do for us whatever we ask. And therein lies the problem. They look at Jesus and his power and come up to him whispering some self-serving request. The disciples are just like us. sneaking around, asking special privileges from God, seeking our own agenda, wanting God to help our team win. Now, we need to understand this passage in this context. The disciples have been stuck on this issue since way back in Mark 9:33. They're getting close to Jerusalem now. Jesus is coming closer to his death, a fact that he reminds them of repeatedly. He's been verbally attacked by the Pharisees, talked about greatness with a child on his lap, and watched the rich ruler turn away. And still, the disciples are whining about who is the greatest. Does that surprise us? I doubt it. We, as current disciples, still play these games of power and prestige. It's all about me. It's all about me. Me. Teacher, we want you to do for us whatever we ask of you. What a way to ask for something. Kids are like that too. Would you do something for me? Come to think of it, I know some adults who ask like that, who ask like that as well. Many of you are parents, and I hope that you know better than to say yes without first asking what it is they want. Jesus asked, what is it you want me to do for you? What do you want? Man, it's a loaded question. Ask any kid, and you'll get 5, 10, 15 answers like that. It's like asking, if you could have anything in the world, what would it be? A loaded question. But Jesus asked it. Well, me and James here, we're thinking we'd like to sit at your left and your right hand in glory. And I love Jesus' answer. You don't know what you're asking. Can you drink the cup I drink or be baptized with the baptism I am baptized with? We can, they answered. Silly, naive, schmucks. When I think of someone being on Jesus' left and right, I think of the thieves on the crosses to the left and right at Jesus' crucifixion. So when Jesus asks them about the cup and baptism, he's asking them if they can go through what he is going to go through. They think they can. And Jesus says, you guys don't know what you're getting yourselves into. All they're thinking about is the prestige and honor, not the sacrifice, trials, and hardship that comes with it. I can relate to that. Sure, we all can. I had a good job at a company, with a good boss, and a pretty good pay and benefits. I learned of a position at another company, and I wanted that position. I wanted to be the supervisor of that company. I wanted the business cards that said Mark Manning, supervisor. I wanted the big bucks that the position offered. I wanted that title and the big private office that came with it. I wanted. Jesus said, you don't know what you are asking. And I didn't. I didn't think about the hardship and grief that I also got. Just like James and John, it was all about me. I called shotgun. I wanted the seat of honor. I wanted the prestige of when people asked me what I did, I could say, I'm the supervisor at such and such a company. And I was glad to say that for a few months. Then I slowly began to realize that all that prestige, the big office, and the money wasn't worth all the garbage I had to put up with. So after 7 months of this, I called my old boss up and asked him if he had any openings. I wasn't looking for my old job. I was looking for any job. And surprise, he had an opening. It was as an inventory clerk. Less pay, lower level than what I was doing when I left, but I was happy. I had called shotgun. I was in the front seat when I hit the metal dashboard. At least it knocked some sense into me. Now I'm going to be careful what you ask for. God just may give it to you. But that's not the end of the story with James and John. No, they went to Jesus on the side, behind the others' backs, and of course they were busted, just like when they were arguing about who is the greatest. We all know how quickly jealousy breaks out when a small group seems to have acquired a privilege that others couldn't share or didn't know about. We read in verse 41, when the 10 heard about this, they became indignant with James and John. Scripture doesn't say why they became indignant. Maybe they were indignant because the audacity of the request. I can't believe they asked for the best seats. I lean toward maybe they were upset because James and John had called shotgun first. So In response to all of this, Jesus calls all of the disciples together and explains how life among them is to be lived. Whoever wants to be great among you must be your servant. And he further qualifies his teachings by the example of his own person and work. For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many. John Brody, former quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers, was being used by his football team to hold the ball for the kicker. Now, a sports reporter asked him why $1 million player like him should have to hold the ball for field goals and extra points after the touchdown. Well, said Brody, if I didn't, it would fall over. Brody understood that his value to the team was being there for the team. It was in holding the ball so it didn't fall over. It was in doing what needed to be done so the team could succeed. That's the type of person that Jesus is looking for. The true test of discipleship is found in the challenge to follow Jesus in his selfless suffering on behalf of others. Greatness from God's point of view is found in God-like graciousness, generosity, and service, not in achieving positions of privilege and power that win the accolades of human culture. The disciples, and unfortunately we too, have an entirely different agenda. Jesus speaks of his cross and we think of ourselves. Somehow the message never seems to sink in. We've called shotgun. We're riding in the front seat, enjoying the view, but just like the disciples, we're blind. The greatest sacrifice was described to them and is described to us, and we've all missed the point. The point that Jesus is trying to make is that God calls us to give our lives in order to help others. This is what ministry is all about. We are not here to be served. We are here to serve. I hope that if you're still calling shotgun, that someday soon you too will hit the middle dashboard and learn that it isn't our agenda that we need to follow, but God's. Amen.
Amen.
This is Your Path with Bishop Mark from Dallas Universal Life Church in Dallas, Texas. Forget what you think you know about church.
All right. It is now time for everybody's favorite part of the service. That would be the, again?
Announcements.
The announcements. Very good. The announcements. We had the full service today, so we had it's a longer service, and we're starting to fade a little bit. you got used to the shorter services.
Mm-hmm.
Got a new video for you. Here it comes.
Hey. Hi, this is Gavin, and this is Marshall. Oh. And there's Bishop Mark, and this is, hi, I'm Josh. And this is the first mile of the Walk to End Alzheimer's. As you can see, we have the shirts. It's a charity event to fundraise money to better research and better medications for Alzheimer's. So yeah, it's the Walk to End Alzheimer's.
I'm going to watch this for this time. I want you to see this from last year. Now, of course, last year we walked in our own neighborhoods. We didn't have all the big gathering or anything, so it's a little different. You can see kind of what kind of time we had. We had a good time, even though it was a small group of us. Still enjoyed it, and it's been good. She was with us for You walked. That's what we did. Maybe it's a little better here. You can hear my voice. I was so full of something nervous speech. It might be a good thing for some people, I guess.
Yay, woohoo, walk-ins, Alzheimer's. How do you say? Got this, yeah, walked in, what is it? Walked in Alzheimer's, yeah, indoors. Woohoo, indoors. We got like we're with the last stretch of this grueling walk, but we did it. Such a walk, but hey, yeah. It's the longest day, as you can see.
The longest day was the summer.
Oh, it was what?
2 different days.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. That was my fault.
No, dude. Hey, come check us out on the longest day in June of next year.
What is the longest day for?
The longest day is what we do is we choose something to do from sun up to sundown. And we get sponsors for that. So it could be anything. We're working out, could be walking, playing music, reading, whatever.
Fasting.
Having a party, whatever.
Fasting, something.
Right, something.
Anything.
And you get sponsors to sponsor you, and all that money goes to help Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
It's on the longest day of the year.
I had no idea.
Yeah. The summer solstice.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
We've been there for the last 5 years also.
The last 5 years?
This is our sixth walk. We've done the longest day for 5 years.
And that, what establishment are we?
Dallas Universal Life Church.
Okay, thank you.
Longest day for 4 years. So, this will be our 6th year this year. It's our 6th year this year. Our 5th last year. It was nice. When you walk around the neighborhood like that, it was cool. People saw us in our shirts, they wondered what we were doing, they didn't realize what we were doing. We raised a little bit of awareness, you know. Of course, Food Domain Services is our sponsor. Lots of walking.
So for the last 5 years, Dallas Universal Life Church has been coming out for this walk to support INDALS, which is actually ending Alzheimer's, and fundraising money for better treatments, for better research, just for better everything, so we can get a handle on this disease. Yeah! Ending Alzheimer's, one walk at a time.
No, you did a great job. I didn't ask you to do it. I was told to go get out. I didn't do it. You kind of stepped up.
Raise money for the cure for Alzheimer's, which is a terrible disease that takes away the memories of our loved ones and every single thing that we ever cared about.
Yes. So walked in Alzheimer's. Got Bishop Mark with Dallas UNC.
So, you know, I think like I said, I think you did a great job. That was the service last year we dedicated to my grandmother who passed away in 2019 from Alzheimer's. One of the reasons I walk. One of the reasons. There are many. That's just one of them. Join us. Come walk with us. You see, you know, we had a great time, and that's just part of it. Especially last year, there was a special moment where we stood on the corner of Greenville Avenue and Lovers Lane here in Dallas, and it's not a real busy street, but it's pretty busy right there. Mm-hmm. And us guys, we circled up, and we were able to, you know, put our arms on each other's backs and just and pray right there on the street. And let me tell you something. That to me is still an amazing privilege that we have here that most people in this world don't get. And it was very moving for me. I didn't get it on video. We probably didn't need to be on video. That was a very special moment for all of us. Come and some kind of special moments that you can have with us also. Come join us. Come walk with us this year. Let me just go through it real quickly here. I'm going to go through it every week because I want you to understand what's going on. I want you to see what you're getting into. It's a lot of fun. We'll come and raise some more money and some awareness for Alzheimer's. Here we go. On November 10th, 2021, we will have the annual Walk to End Alzheimer's sleepover here at the church. Okay, doors will close at 10 p.m. You'll be here before 10 p.m. All right, so you won't get in. And there's no leaving after 10 p.m. until the next morning when we leave for City Hall, which will be November the 11th at 7 a.m. We will leave no later than 7 a.m. for City Hall. Again, City Hall is where they're having it this year. That's where they had it the last couple of years before the COVID. That's all pending. If anything changes, I'll let you know. It looks like it's going to be a go. It's a couple of weeks away now. I hope you're fundraising. Right? All right. Registration is at 8 a.m. Opening ceremonies are at 9 a.m. And the walk begins at 9:30 a.m. Following the walk, we will all come back here, regroup, maybe have a refreshment or so, and then come back tomorrow, the 12th, no, Sunday the 12th, for our preaching service. Okay, Sunday service is preaching. Okay, it's time for us to kind of rapidly get up and pat ourselves to the back. Pat ourselves on the back, and there's whatever else we can do. Woo, Don. All right, moving on. Let's get on past this. Oh, http://act.alz.org/go-to, that's GOTO/Dallas ULC. Okay, that's how you sign up. That's how you sign up. That's how you also donate if you want to donate to our team or to our individual walkers. Okay, check it out. Look, at least go read our story on it. It's a great supplement about us and about why we're walking and everything else. And I think you might get to check it out. Okay. All right. Pray at DallasULC.com. Pray at DallasULC.com. If you have a prayer request. Did you see what that is? Here's Josh. We just saw him in the video. He was emceeing the Alzheimer's video last year. He's not coming in a little bit late. That's okay. That's okay. Have a seat. We'll be right with you. All right. I'm sorry? Yes. All right. Pray at DallasULC.com. Sorry about the interruption. Pray at DallasULC.com. If you have a prayer request, there's Dexter. Oh boy, the cameos today. If you have a prayer request, I'm going to have some tonight. Pray at DallasULC.com. Send us that. Send us an email there, and we'll bless it. You can anonymously use your name. You can ask that your prayers be said during our daily prayers. We do pray every day here at Dallas Universal Life Church. So you can ask that your prayers be said during the service intercession on Sundays. So pray at DallasULC.com. Donate. Look, we are, be straight up about this. We survive on your donations. We don't have any other form of income here. We are all volunteers here. I don't take a salary. Nobody here does. Everybody's volunteer here. All the money that we make in tithing and donations goes directly back into the church and here to our communities. Please, if you like what you're hearing here, if you like what you're seeing here, if you like our message we're sending out, if you like where we're going, please consider donating to Dallas Universal Life Church. All you have to do is go to DallasULC.com and click on donate. We are a non-profit organization. We are a tax-free organization, and we also can help you get a tax on your tax returns because it's a write-off. Okay, so DallasULC.com, click on donate. It's all we've got. Look, the COVID's killing us. Literally, we are barely hanging on by a shoestring, folks. We really need your help. Okay, DallasULC.com, click on donate. Now, there are people that say, I don't have any money. I'm right there with you. I don't have any money either. Do what I do. Volunteer. There's always something to do here at the church. Always. Come in. If you haven't come into our services yet, you've just been watching us online or whatever, come on in. Come check out a service. Come see what it's like. Then, talk to us. See if you're interested in volunteering here. We'll be glad to talk to you about it. We'll see if it's a perfect fit or not. There's always something to do here, and we like all new ideas that you come up with. It's great. There's always something to do. So, if you want to volunteer, DallasULC.com, click on volunteer. It's that simple. Or just see me. Compliments, concerns, suggestions, complaints. Compliments, concerns, suggestions, complaints. You got one of those, you need one of these. The feedback at DallasULC.com. That's your email address for compliments, concerns, suggestions, or complaints. Feedback at DallasULC.com. Did you know we have a podcast?
Podcast.
We have a podcast. Can you believe it? I can't. Actually, I can't because I put it together every week. All right, guys, podcast. Check it out. Every time I tell you this is every week, it's something different. I hear it's something different on the podcast than I do just being here in service or actually watching it or doing the editing or everything else. I hear something different. It's a little bit different. I hear a little different message. And I get a little different perspective of things when we listen to our podcast. Go check it out. It's very simple. If you want to check out our podcast, you simply go to your favorite search engine and type in Your Path with Bishop Mark, Your Path with Bishop Mark, or you can go and check out one of our lovely providers here that do host our services, our podcast services, and that's going to be Anchor by Spotify, Pocket Cast, Stitcher, Radio Public, Apple Podcasts, Overcast, Castbox, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, and TuneIn. Please go check us out there. Check out our podcast. I think you'll enjoy it. Don,
But
how long was that video?
20 seconds.
20 seconds. And why was it 20 seconds?
That's how long it takes you to wash your hands and sanitize your hands.
That's right. 20 seconds is the minimum amount of time it takes for you to do any good washing your hands. If you're just going to sit there and washing out like so many people do, you're not washing your hands, you're just spreading the germs even more. You must wash your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds to kill the germs, especially the germs that cause COVID. Okay, look. This is pretty self-explanatory, folks, but apparently people don't get it. 20 seconds is the minimum amount of time to wash your hands with soap and water. Then you dry them and use hand sanitizer if you can. Do not be touching everything and putting it up to your face. Keep your hands away from your face. Keep your hands away from other people's faces. Keep your hands away from other people. Okay? Wash your hands as often as you can. When you touch something, you wash your hands. When you pet the dog, when you pet your neighbor, when you clean the house, when you do the dishes, when you eat, when you prepare food, when you go to the bathroom, when you scratch your butt. I don't care. Wash your hands. Okay? This is one of the easiest ways to stop these sicknesses from getting around. Because this is how we spread it, right here. You know, grab this and grab that, put it in our mouth, then give somebody else and touch their skin, and you've got their saliva on their hands, and then they wipe their butt, and they didn't clean their hands, and they got the feces on their hands, and then you touch that to your mouth. Come on, folks. Wash your hands, please. Wash your hands. It's that simple. Continue to practice social distancing if you can. Wear a mask if you need to. And if you can, I suggest it. And look, get vaccinated. Go get your vaccinations. Go get your boosters if you need them. Look, it's that simple, folks. God gave us ways to take care of this. Let's do it. It's that simple. Okay. Ending on that note, I'm almost angry because I see so many people not listening. And then they bitch and complain that somebody died. Well, let's rise for dismissal.